Sometimes we just have to add a little bit of magic and more spice to romance anime, and what better way to do it than with action and magic? That's why we're going to talk about the top 10 action magic romance anime. Let's go. Number 10, Phantom Thief Jean.
何よ。
かわいいな。俺と付き合わないか。
なんだこのナンパ男。べー。
Starting off our list is an oldie but goldie, and it's none other than Phantom Thief Jean. In this series, our girl Maron is hiding something, and that's because she's actually a reincarnation of Jeanne d'Arc. Every night, she tries to steal demons that are usually found in art pieces, but the art disappears with them. All was well until her revival arrived.
結構いいプロポーションしてるな。
何よドスケベ。
This series is basically a combination of Sailor Moon, Demon Slayer, and Fate, and even though it's old, it's still super underrated. It's a great series to watch if you just want to sit down and not use your brain. Also, it's perfect for shoujo lovers because, I mean, come on, just from looking at it, you could already tell. The characters also aren't plain because they actually have backstories and not just pretty faces. Number 9, Trinity 7.
いじりか。おはよう。朝食か。
朝食かじゃないです。
Do you like harems? Even if you say no, I bet you do. Well, you'll be glad because this series follows our boy Arata, who's investigating a disaster known as the breakdown phenomenon that made all the people in his town disappear, except him. He enrolls in a top secret magic academy, and that's when he meets a bunch of girls that change his entire life forever.
シャンプーじゃないわ。シャンプーはこっち。
When the animators asked how much fan service was going to be added here, the producers just said yes. There's no amazing plot here like Attack on Titan, and it has your typical high school setting, but I think what makes it good are the characters. The MC is actually likable, unlike other harem MCs, and not to mention, the girls are not annoying. That's already better than 90% of the other harem anime out there. Number 8, Plunderer.
りんちゃん、僕たちは戦うべきじゃない。こんな剣なんか捨てて愛し合うべきなんだ。
軍の人間がみんな剣の使い手だと思ってた？
Are you more into OP MCs that hide their powers? Say hello to Plunderer! You see, in this world, people have counts that determine their status in society, so the higher your count, the better your life is, and when you reach 0, you get sent to the abyss. Our girl Hina has her count based on how much she travels, and one day she meets a man that has a negative count. What she didn't know was that she was gonna run into a whole lot of trouble.
君と出会ったその時から僕の心に。
I'm just gonna be honest with you, Plunderer might sound like an anime that's similar to Jujutsu Kaisen, but the first half has a lot of fan service. But if you just push past it, you'll realize that this is a hidden gem. When the story picks up, it's insanely well done, and the fight scenes are exciting too. Number 7, Grancrest Senki.
少し私に体を寄せてください。
いいのかな。
そういうものですから。寄りすぎ。
If the action in Plunderer wasn't enough, and you need more action to feed that shonen brain rot of yours, then this one might be for you. The continent of Atlantin was supposed to be at peace when a marriage was arranged between the two kingdoms, but chaos just so happened to arrive. We follow our girl Selusa as she meets Theo, who might be the future of their land.
何か急な知らせでも？
いえ、そうではないのですが。
Action, magic, and romance. This anime has it all, and it's not afraid to show it. With a simple story, great animation, and a whole lot of battles, it never becomes boring. Celicia is not only your typical female MC who just waits to get saved by the guy, she's a strong, independent woman, and who doesn't like that? Although the romance is not as emphasized as the other shows, it gets more and more obvious in the later parts of the story. Number 6, banished from the hero's party, I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside.
分かったよ。じゃあ俺が出るから。
いいじゃん。 緒に入れば。
女の子にこんなこと言わせていいのかい？
Why does this anime have a long title? If you guessed that it's adapted from a light novel, then you'd be right. We follow our boy Red, who just lives a peaceful life with Rit in a small town, but he's been keeping secrets, and no, he's not cheating. It's because he was actually a member of the hero's party, and he's the brother of the hero herself.
私が最初に会った頃からレッドは自分の仕事を完璧にこなす人だった。ゾルタンでもそういうところは変わらないんだ。
The series is the perfect example of how, even if you let go of the past, it sometimes doesn't let go of you. Well, that was deep. The pacing is a bit slow in this one, even though it sounds a lot like it has a lot of action. It also literally feels like an MMORPG, so for Warcraft players out there, this one's for you. I like it though because it feels refreshing compared to other fantasy anime. Number 5, Rage of Bahamut, Virgin Soul.
失礼しま
おい待て貴様俺を覚えていないのか？
Here's a slice of life anime. Just kidding. They've got more fantasy and magic to shove in your face. In this anime, the gods, humans, and demons all work together to defeat a giant dragon called Bahamut. But as time went on, humans started abusing their position. That's when we meet a bounty hunter named Nina, who will be in the middle of all this chaos.
俺と組め。俺にお前の力を貸せ。
Surprise, surprise, the animation is top-notch, and that's because this series is actually animated by Mappa. Yes, the Giga Chad themselves. From that alone, it already feels different from other fantasy romance series, and it also feels a little bit serious because of the story. Not to mention the soundtrack is a complete banger. It makes me feel like I'm about to fight an epic battle that's gonna make me transform into a Saiyan or something. Number 4, The Garden of Sinners.
お邪魔するけど、なんだ、起きてるじゃないか。意地汚い。あげないぞ。
なんだこの不法侵入者。そんなレトルト頼まれたっているもんか。
Hold your horses! Before you say that this anime is fate, I'm here to tell you that it's not. It just looks like that because it's animated by Ufotable. You see, The Garden of Sinners follows our girl Shiki, who has some supernatural powers and is investigating cases where victims take their own lives. Together with 2 more characters, she's gonna get to the bottom of all this.
俺、お前の部屋の鍵持ってない。不公平だろ？そういうのって。
Before we add Mappa, now we're talking about a series that was animated by Ufotable. We're eating well today, my beautiful weebs. This is basically a series of movies, and I'd argue that it was better this way because it just felt smoother to watch. The MC is also so badass, and the story matches so well with the pacing too. I recommend everyone to watch this because come on, it's made by Ufotable. How could it go wrong? Number 3, Spirit Chronicles.
すみません。読めないもので。リオ？個別指導の件で伺ったのですが。よく来てくれたわ。待っていたのよ。絶対忘れてたな。これ。
Okay, enough of the serious shows. I know some of you are hungry for that classic harem isekai, so that's why I'm gonna give you one. In this series, our boy Haruto is isekai'd after Truck-kun hit him so hard he got reincarnated into another world. There, he rescues a princess, and then the king enrolls him into the Bertram Royal Academy as thanks.
先生。
心配したんだからね。
すみません。
But not everything goes well because what do you expect to happen when a poor kid enrolls in a rich school? From that premise alone, some of you might feel that it's already too generic, and you're right. But what makes it good is that it knows it's a generic OP fantasy isekai anime, and it just embraces it. The fight scenes are animated really well, and it pretty much stays consistent too. It might be trash for you, but it's good trash for me. Number 2, Twin Star Exorcists.
昨日の力すごかった。
それがどうした？
ゆえにプライドが傷ついた。
ああ、 なんで
Let's tone down the fantasy a little bit and let's add a little more magic into the mix. We follow our girl Benio, who is a prodigy exorcist, and with another exorcist named Rokuro, they go into a parallel world named Magano and fight monsters called Kagare. But even though Benio is a prodigy, Rokuro is gonna show her what he's made of and she might just fall in love.
今日のことは誰にも言うなよ。俺は陰陽師なんてやりたくねえんだ。
This is another completely underrated gem that not only has 50 episodes, but is so entertaining to watch too. I think the highlight of this series is definitely the character development, especially when it comes to the relationship between the two MCs. Almost all the episodes are great too. Well, almost, because I know some of you are gonna roast me in the comments. Just watch it and you'll know why I love it so much. Number 1, Mushoku Tensei.
僕はルーです。君は？シルフ。いい名前じゃないか。まるで風の妖精だ。
Finally, at number 1, the grandfather of all isekai and the one that's just been making all isekai fans drool. It's none other than Mushoku Tensei. To start things off, we have the classic Trekkoon, reincarnating our guy into another world. There he has a new family, a new life, and a new chance to become much better than who he was before. And it's glorious to watch.
シルフ。だから普通にしてて。
同年代の幼く可愛らしい女の子。上手に付き合っていく方法を俺は知らない。
I might be glazing Mushoku Tensei too hard, but it has true character development. It actually takes her MC seriously, and his past haunts him even though he's in another world. As the series goes on, you see Rudis grow up from a kid to a father, and it's just so wholesome. Not to mention the animation is freaking insane, and this is an isekai anime. I can make an entire video about this series, but I want you to know that it's number 1 in our list of the top 10 action magic romance anime.